Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle bubbles from CZT Suzanne McNeill. Now, like these tangles that kind of give an illusion. I think they're fun. And I am going to do my 4 corner dots because I want to, and a border because it goes with it. All right. And this starts off with a bunch of big orbs. Now, if you look at the overall design, and I did decide to change up my version of Suzanne's step out uh, just because of just because I wanted to make the steps just a little bit different. So starting off with the largest size orb. So keeping that in mind, because if you start off with them too small, then it's not necessarily going to work. So way bigger than you think. And, it's one of those you can start anywhere. I'm going to spot a couple because I want to have this. I want to have some working under. I was doing all right on my step out, and then the last box, for whatever reason, I didn't end up really with any that. Well, maybe one that partially went under another one, and I'm like, oh well, it's all right. It gives you a whole different look too. So just placing orbs wherever you want, and again, make them ginormous, or at least just so that way you know that whatever you do, you're gonna have to put a couple other orbs in there. And this, I'm not going. Um, I am not going outside of my line because I don't want to. So I'm staying inside. And I think I'm going to keep it like that. And maybe I'll change the direction up. Yeah. Oh, wait, maybe I will do one here. We're going to have this be a nice one that goes, yeah, like that, just off the page. Okay. Then, as I mentioned, we are doing, what do we got here? Two auras inside. And what's nice about this tangle is that if your hand isn't steady, it just makes it look whimsical, and that's just kind of fun. And this, using the hollibaugh technique on, well, and I didn't explain it on the bubble, so if this is the first time you have watched a Zentangle video and you don't know how to do this draw behind, and I wasn't even thinking about it when I did it, but basically what you do is you pick up your pen instead of going over, like here, I picked up my pen, I move it across. Oh, this is about how it will be, and then it will come around the other side. And so we're only putting the pen to paper where it would show up. Again, it's as if we're drawing underneath. So that it's also a tangle in and of itself. So you can search Hollibaugh, HOLLIBAUGH, and you can find the tangle, which completely demonstrates how to do this. All right. And then one last one on the inside here. And actually, well, and as you can see, some of my orbs aren't even. I mean, this is why we call them orbs, right? Because saying circle is just too much pressure. And it implies a certain level of perfection that we don't necessarily worry about in Zentangle. It's all about you and and your journey through this. All right. So once you have your 3 nested orbs, then we're going to create this shadowy thing. So we're going to and here's where maybe you decide how you want to do this, because it is rather effective to have it kind of going on the same side, not like one here, one. on the opposite side. So deciding whichever side, then we're going to essentially aura. I'm just going to draw it out here. One side of that innermost orb, and then fill it in. And then again, I would, doing it similar on each one in a similar area fashion. Now this one, my inside orb was a little wonky, so because luckily I picked the right side, so I can fill in and kind of course correct right there. And that's something too. If you don't know which side you want to do, if there's, just take a look at your orbs and say, okay, which is there a better way to go? Is there something I need to fix? I wasn't even looking that. I just picked this side because I like the way the bubbles lay on the page. And then we just do this for each one. And you could, if you want to, so I'm filling in as I go. Completely up to you, of course, if you want to just do that curve line and then fill in afterwards. Again, completely up to you. Sometimes it's fun to do it this way because then things start taking shape and it starts getting exciting as you go. And then you can play with how. Wait a minute, I have to fix this. There we go. You can play with how thick this curve line is. So if you want it to look like, and if you look at it now, you can see that now it looks like, I mean, besides it does look like a bubble, but it also looks like it's like a wheel with a hole through it. So it kind of, does a couple things. Now, some of us that attended, I put on a class not too long ago, gems, bubbles, and more. It was one of the paid classes. You can purchase the replay, by the way. It is on my website. Right now, it's under classes/sessions. It will become a part of there will be a class replay page where you can purchase those replays. But anyway, where we learned a lot about creating that neat bubble effect. So you can do that on the inside of these too. But this is neat. I just think it's cool because it creates that depth. But it looks, honestly, it looks more like a hole than it does a bubble. But you could play with that and make it look more like a bubble. Although I don't. Well, anyway, it's a neat tangle. It really is. Now, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to add some shading around where these overlap, just because. And it looks like on Suzanne's step out, she doesn't have any shading. And of course, you don't have to do any shading if you don't want to. It's okay. We're going to see what this looks like. Oops, and here's one more place. So just where it goes over, I'm putting graphite on the outside of that. So it will then accentuate the over under effect and push these down below. Another thing I'm thinking about is in between. A lot of times, and I left some gaps on mine. Well, gosh, unless you have a lot of overlap, you're inevitably going to have places where these little areas where it doesn't meet up. And I'm thinking, well, and you will have already seen what I decided to do, but I'm thinking I'm going to fill that in with solid black. But I don't need to have you sit and painfully watch me do that, or listen to me gab on about other things. So, well, I might do my little finishing spiel. Did I get all of them? I do believe I did. And let's take a look. Yeah, and see how that creates it creates a lot more depth. Now you could, so I'm just going to put a little bit here, because they kind of touch. So we could make that just a little bit of a shadow, and even here maybe. So you can have fun with that. And they do. Wait, let's see. Ooh, let's see. As I turn it, it kind of takes on a different look. And I'm thinking of the bubbles themselves. Um, Interesting. So, neat tangle, indeed. And if you enjoyed this, as I fill in the background, if you enjoyed this, would love to have a thumbs up or a like. Feel free to share it. Oh, but if I fill it, oh, it'll be all right. Feel free to share it, and if you liked it enough to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And in the description section, you will find links to my version of the step out, as well as to Suzanne's, which is on tangle patterns. Then below that, ways to connect with me. I have a link to my website, also to our Facebook community. So if you are enjoying tangling and you would like to tangle with a bunch of fun tanglers, we'd love to have you join us. And so that link is there as well. Again, I do classes nearly twice a week. It just depends on the week. Some of them are free. I have a couple that are paid. It helps me to be able to devote time to doing everything and putting these out there. Also, sharing, liking, and subscribing. I get just a little bit coming my way for that as well. So I appreciate any and all efforts to spread the word of Zentangle because it's so much fun. So that's it. All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching. I'll get that finished. And I wish you lots of happy tangling.